I do hope we've all made notes, because it's interesting that the human mind, we say, remembers very little of new information pushed at one point of time. You know, why we encourage students to take notes, why we encourage to read the same thing 10 times and not just one time, is because new bits of information is extremely difficult. So we thought about what we could do today when the topic says solutions for you, solutions by you. And I'm going to begin today with a huge assumption. And the assumption I'm going to make, and you can validate that assumption for me, is that there might probably be nothing new that I can share with you that you might be able to do that you're not already doing. Is that a valid assumption? How many of you would agree with that? There might not be anything new that I can probably share with you that you're not already doing in terms of what you can do in terms of training and placements. Is that a valid assumption that you do quite a lot already? Do you do quite a lot? In your colleges, in your institutes? Yeah? So how many of you work hard every day to ensure that there's placements that happen in your college? How many of you do that? Now, whenever I ask a question, I like my participants to, I've been in the learning and development field for about 15 years, and I like my participants to answer my question in a particular way. I usually define it, otherwise people answer as they want. And how I would like you to answer it is by using a single word. The word I would like you to use, a word I'm sure we all like quite a lot, is called I. What's the word? Okay. Let's try how loud we can say that together as one chorus, as one group. Shall we? I'll say 1, 2, 3, go. The moment you hear the word go, say the word I as loud as you can, as one group, as one chorus. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, go. Aye. Awesome. Let's try it once again. 1, 2, 3, go. Aye. You know, we say that when you add body language to communication, communication gets better. So let's add a little bit of body language to this. When you say the word I out loud, I would also like you, along with that, to raise your hand. Could be right or left, choice is yours. Raise it all the way up and bring it down, which means I would like you to say I. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's try it once again. Louder, together, take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, go. Once again, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Let's see if we can maintain that tempo for about 1 hour. Then we'll be hungry enough to really eat what's out over there. So how many of you do what you'd like to do? How many of you work hard every day for training and placements in your colleges? That's the difference between practice and implementation. You know, training room practice, we all practice well. Implementation, we don't. Let me repeat the question. Let's see us do it together. How many of you work hard for placements and training in your institutions? Better? Okay. So what we will do today is, instead of really sharing anything much new, what we've attempted to do is to try to put together a framework that maybe we can choose to take away in a little structured format when we leave the room today. You know, most of you must have heard of the story of a man who goes to learn from another person. He goes to learn from another person saying that I've done this, I've done that, I've done that, I've done this, now I want to learn from you also. And this master, he tells him that, well, you know what, your cup is so full with what you already learned that unless and until you choose to empty it a little bit back into the kettle or back into the pond, you'll not be able to put anything new in that. So I would love for us to take all of our experiences and probably for about the next 1 hour, put it aside so that we'll see what kind of a little bit of new thoughts we can probably go together today. Shall we do that? Yeah? Okay? Now what I want us to pour in that empty cup, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I want you to just pour whatever it is you're doing. What I want to do is we will start with what you're already doing and see whether we can take it from there into a structured framework of doing the same thing. Which means that I would love for you to share what you're already doing in terms of solutions for training and placement. Right? So this is what I would love for us to do. I would love, are you sitting next to your friends, your colleagues, people whom you know? All of friends? Great. Okay. So let's do this at an entirely random note, right? I would love for us to get into probably about 5 groups in this room. Okay, and I would love for you to discuss in these 5 groups as to what you already do, and then in this room share those thoughts quickly so that we can build on that. Otherwise, I can stand here and tell you point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the end of the 1 hour, you will say, we do all this anyway. What's the whole point of standing over here? right? So let's begin with you sharing what you actually do. So I'd love for you to get into about 5 groups in this room. Now, a trainer's favorite way of getting into groups is to get people to count out loud. So let's do this. I will say start, and from one corner, I would love for you to count out loud. Now, the faster we do this, the quicker we do this, the sooner we actually take things forward. So I would like for you to count out loud. Start counting 1 to 5. Okay? And 1 to 5, then again 1 to 5. Until you kindly, everybody's counted in this room. Clear? Shall we start this corner? Quick, 1 to 5, we start with the row. Yeah. 1. Sir? 2. Okay, 3. 1. Please remember your numbers. Awesome. Okay. So now this is what we're going to do. I will say 1, 2, 3, go. Now from the time I say go, I'm going to count from 1 to 17. By the time I say the number 17, okay, I want you in your groups. Now what you're going to do is all once, would love for you to form a group as much as here. Okay, somewhere on this circle, get your chairs, form a circle as close to each other, become a group in this corner, or at least somewhere over there, all once. All twos, way there a little at the back. All the threes, somewhere over here. And all the fours, that side, and all the fives, this side. So I will say start, and then I will count till 17. By the time I say 17, get up, talk to people, find the numbers that you have with other people, and all ones, all twos, all threes, all fours, and all fives together in a circle as close as possible. Are we ready? Okay? 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull up your chairs and sit. 9, 10, 11. Just pull up into a circle. 12, 13, 14, 15, 15.5. 16. Wherever you're standing, pull up the chairs and sit over there. 16.1. Just pull up chairs into a circle and sit over here. 16.2. 16.3. Before I say the number 17, just pull up chairs and sit. 16.4. 16.5. 16.6. 16.7. 16.8. 16.9. 16.91. Okay? Are we all done? Great. Now this is what I would love for you to do in your groups. I'll leave you in your groups for about 6 minutes because like I said, the assumption I would like to go with is that you know what all you're doing and there's probably not much new things. Now hopefully you're from different institutions together in one group. In the next 6 minutes that I will time you, I would like for you to come as close to each other as possible, discuss about what is it that you do as a training and placement officer, a training and placement cell in your institution. What is it that you do? What is the role? What is the responsibility? What is the goal? What are the goals and roles of the training and placement cell or training and placement officer that you do in your institutions, in your organizations? What all do you do? And what are the roles and what are the responsibilities, etc. So have a discussion and come up with a list. Okay? One single list as a group. One single list of what you can think is what all you all do. Just have a discussion for about 6 minutes. Quick discussion. Just pull your feet together, chat for a while. Think of a quick list in terms of what all do you do? What do you think of? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just go in and then join them. Just have a discussion. Think about what all do you do. Just a list, right? Follow a quick list. A quick list. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. 2 minutes more. Okay, 1 minute more. Let's do 1 minute more. Last 50 seconds. 45 seconds. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, let's stop. Let's come back together because I'm sure you can continue this discussion while you're having lunch. But let's come back together so we can do a quick round of sharing. Now, what I would like you to share is this. I would like you to share what you believe is probably the top role, the top responsibility. What I'm going to do is pass the mic on. One person from each group can feel free to share that one thought and we'll quickly pass it on to the other groups. And then we'll see if there are some more points if we want to share. Okay? Now, when I do day-long or 2 hours long training sessions, I usually never tell any of my participants that you have to silently listen to me. Okay? Because I consider any program to be much like a movie. You know, how many of you watch movies, by the way? How many of you watch movies? Okay, how are you supposed to answer me? You're supposed to use a word. What's the word? Let's try it as a chorus. Say I as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3, go. I. How many of you watch movies? I. Thank you. I consider a program much like a movie. You walk into a movie, if it isn't interesting, you'll do what you want, right? So it's my job to make it interesting. However, I do have one ground rule, is that when one of you is sharing in this room, one of you is speaking, then I would like you to completely respect that person. Because that person is one amongst you, which means I would like you to listen to that person. We all know how to listen, right? How do we listen? We listen by doing LISTEN. And how do we do LISTEN? We do that by being SILENT. Right? Mic mein dungi na, I have 2 mics in hand. Let me control that. So we listen, we do LISTEN by being SILENT. Quick 1 round each, we'll just share. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll go in that round, quick share in terms of what you think is the top goal or role. And then from there, just take it forward a little bit, right? Okay, who'd like to go? Just share. Let's not introduce the group entirely because I will take an hour, right? Just quick share. Yeah.
It belongs to 5th group. So the top role of placement officers, industry, academia, interface creation.
Industry, institute, interface.
Yeah.
So the top role, top goal, top objective is to do industry interface with the institute.
So all the other things like placement, guest lecture, everything belongs to this.
Okay. So we do placements, we do guest lectures, etc. The top thing role is the industry interface that needs to get done. Okay. So that's one that's supposed to be the top role or the goal. What do you say? I'm just restricting the sharing just for the paucity of time, right? I hope we would, I would love it if we had a chart full of points, but then just for paucity of time. What do you think is the top role?
Our group name is Legends.
Legends, okay.
Legends always say that you should not say any time I, you always tell we only, wherever you say. And the next thing is that
what is the top goal? Yeah, the top role.
Top goal is that you please feel the students first of all.
Mm-hmm.
It will makes you to understand them better.
SILENT, yeah, okay.
Feel the students, know the students, easy for you to deliver it also.
Okay, understand the students, don't switch off. Understand the students, understand the pulse of students, it's easier. You know, one interesting thought, Stephen Covey, right, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talks of interdependence and teamwork at a very high level. And if you know, how many of you read or seen 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Yeah. If you look at the entire paradigm he talks about, he says interdependence, think win-win, synergy, seek first to understand, work together. But in this entire circle, he says before you can even think of interdependence, you first need to achieve independence. Somewhere with a number of I's is where a we comes together. In fact, teamwork in organizations fall flat, not because people don't know how to collaborate, because there's no individual I for each person over there. So there's insecurity to contribute to the we. Sometimes I has a very strong role to contribute to the we, right? So you say understanding the pulse of the students, knowing the students, that is the major role, right? Here is industry interface. Okay, what would you say? The major role?
Our group is it is a focus gurus. Okay.
आपको नाम ढूंढना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually the one sentence is build the career focus through confidence building. See that the maximum placements of the students.
Okay, build career focus in the students through confidence building so that they can get the maximum placement. So career focus through confidence building, right?
Yes.
So career focus, get them oriented towards what they want confidently. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Because a lot of us don't know what we want, right? That's also there. Okay. So industry interface, get clarity for the students in terms of what they want. Understand the students, give them what they need is the major role. What would you say?
So only one word, make the student employable.
Make the student employable, okay? Okay. So what does that mean? Just for a brief description, what do you mean by employable?
If you want to clear detail. So
what do you do? Yeah, so what do you do?
So first objective, 100% placement.
Okay.
Second, my goal, empowering my students.
Okay.
How?
Awesome.
Identification, segregation, pull the candidates according to that.
Okay. So make them 100% placement, right? Employable, okay? What would you say is the major role? Anyone?
Yeah, our main goal is assessment and pre-assessment. Maybe I'll put it the other way, pre-assessment and assessment.
Okay, do pre-assessment and assessment so you know where they stand really. Whatever we are doing, is it making an impact or not? This is a major role so that they'll improve.
Placement is secondary.
Secondary. So improving the students is most important than placement. Okay? So that placement will automatically happen. Okay. Let's just share a few other thoughts. Quick, if each group you just want to share one or two other things that you possibly do. Anyone would like to share? Anything else that you think is unique that you possibly do? Anyone else? We all talk about what we do, right? Now, let me tell you this. Many times, there's been this experiment that's been conducted by this French scientist, okay? He's called Jean Paul. Yeah, you want to share? Boost the morale of the students like anything, okay? Anything else? Anybody wants to throw out a sentence that way? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so pre-assessment, grooming and everything, and then post-assessment including details. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, just say out loud, one sentence. Okay, key basic fundamentals should be well versed, right? You should know the technical competencies. Okay, awesome. Know the fundamentals, express them. Okay, now here's a thought. Let me go off this a little bit and tell you there's been this experiment that the scientists have done. You know, there are some things called processionary caterpillars. Okay, now processionary caterpillars, what happens is go one behind the other in a procession, no matter where you place them. The scientists put them in a circle, in an entire big circle. Now these processionary caterpillars went one behind the other in the circle, and they kept going one behind the other in the circle. Right in the center of the circle, they placed a lot of mulberry leaves, which was their most favorite food. Just like placements are the most favorite thing, right? They placed a lot of mulberry leaves. Now, these processionary caterpillars kept going round and round and round, one behind the other, as is their nature, for about 5 days and 4 nights, at the end of which ultimately they all dropped dead out of starvation. because they didn't have food to eat. Keeping their most favorite food just inches away from where they actually are. If only one of them had chosen to turn inside and then walk in, then they would have found a favorite food. Instead, they kept going round and round and round. They did a lot of activity, a lot of work, a lot of tasks, okay, restless, relentless, kept doing things until they got so tired. But then where were they actually going for? That direction somewhere got lost. The question I can say you ask yourself is, each and everything that you do, would you look at doing it as maybe an activity? Are you doing tons and tons of activities over there? Or do you know that each and every one of them is one step in a direction towards a particular accomplishment, which is ultimately the goal of a training and placement cell, which is to get people actually placed, either placed or entrepreneurial. One of the two. Okay, find them a way such that they can earn their living consistently after they move from wherever it is they move. Either by getting a job or by being a job creator, which are one of these two ways. So to look at that particular goal and then to see if that step can be taken. What we thought we would share is that we would share a particular framework you might be able to follow. So whatever it is you're doing, can we put a structure to it? Okay, because all these activities that we do are the number of things that you talk about. You talk about activities, you talk about liaising with the industry, you talk about the coordination of industry institute, you talk about organizing lectures, you talk about taking feedback from companies, you talk about arranging training programs, you talk about skill building, you talk about entrepreneurship workshops. Every institute has an entrepreneurship development cell. These are all the activities that we do. For each activity, can I ask myself a question? Is it a step inside the circle, or is it still going in a circle over there? Right? That's the question. If you keep asking yourself, we've said, let's look at you walking away with a structured framework. And there is this framework that we use in the training industry a lot. It's called ADDIE as a framework. It talks about analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And we've said, let's look at these 5 from a simple perspective of a training and placement cell. So what I'm going to do is the next 20 minutes or so, just share these 5 steps a little quickly in terms of the framework. Feel free to ask me a question anywhere in terms of clarity, or at the end of these 20 minutes, we can take a round of a Q&A. See, from the morning, everything has been about outside of you. Okay, what does the industry want? What are the assessments out there? What is it that the HR wants? What is the economy out over there? What is the market out over there? This next 20-30 minutes is all going to be is what can I do and how effectively can I do it, such that it works as effectively as possible, as simple as that. So can we take the 50 things that we are doing and put it in a structured step-by-step process? And this process, we call it as an ADDIE process. Now, the simplest form of the ADDIE process, the first step, we always call it an analysis or an assessment. Okay? So you start with looking at a particular analysis and assessment. Now, what will you analyze as a training and placement officer or a cell? What do you analyze? Any idea? What should you analyze? Capabilities of students, okay? Anything else? Strengths and weaknesses of the students, anything else? Not attending the? Usually it's an analysis that we do. So we analyze what an employer needs, we analyze where a student stands, we analyze the gap. We do that, right? Now let's say we do the analysis. Then somewhere the next step is to start designing what you're going to do with that analysis. Okay? We'll look at each one a little bit specific. I'll give you one format for each. The design that you will do is actually simply what you can call a SWOT analysis. Now, not just of your students, but maybe even the industry. Even your institute, you can look at what is the market analysis, what do students want, and look at each institute is different, is it not? Would you agree with me? That each institute is different. Your strengths might be different from someone else's strengths. Now, if you can leverage on your strengths than generally what everybody is doing, then it is easier for you to design a program such that you can get the maximum effectiveness over there. Now, when you do this design, a third step is to develop how you can project that design forward. Yes, I've analyzed the situation currently. Yes, I've designed in terms of what are my key core competencies. Now, can I develop a program that will help me push them out to the outside world? Now, one word that we would love to share in this for this is one word is called branding. Okay, can I brand my institute and create and develop a branding process such that I can project what it is that my institution has based on the analysis? And as we develop that brand, can I take a step forward to implement? Now, this is where all of our activities come in. Can I implement in terms of trainings? Can I implement in terms of liaisons? What all can I do to implement that brand forward? And while we're doing this comes the last one, which is the E, which we call an evaluation. Can I keep reviewing? Going back to the employers, going back to the students, going back to the stakeholders, going back to myself, and asking whether this process is okay or do we need to tweak anything anywhere. Now, as you follow a structured process, it might become easier to notice those little gaps that we might miss when we do things at random. And having said this, we say in the center come the key stakeholders. All this does not work out unless all the key stakeholders happen. And I say the key stakeholders include the students, they include the management. A lot of times, sometimes we face challenges with students, sometimes it's a challenge with the management, right? In terms of getting approvals, in terms of getting okay for things. Prospective employers, and sometimes interestingly, the parents of students become stakeholders. I'm putting so much amount of money and then getting my child, so like, you take care of this child, that's all that's important. So somewhere these key stakeholders, if you keep in mind, at every stage while you do all the 5 steps. And what we will look at today is, as a structured framework, one thing that you can do in each one, one example that you could do in each one that might help to make it a little easier for you. And this list is what we do. We're going to focus upon not assessment of students, not assessment of their strengths, but assessment of the market trends. Now this, we're hoping will give you a framework that might help you think a little differently than what you do. So assessment of the market strength, design the SWOT analysis. How many of you know the SWOT analysis for your institute? Okay. So it's on paper. Can you put down the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats that are there, your institute compared to the others? Then we talk about development in terms of branding. And just a simple glimpse, it's a glimpse into each one of them. And then we talk about implementation. How many of you have your institutes on Facebook? Okay. So can we increase those numbers, right? Little questions like this. And can we take constant evaluation and constant feedback from people? Now in this process, in the assessment, I want you to look at it a little differently. Usually we say, hey, look, I'm a college, I'm an institution, and we look up to an organization and say, please come, right? Because why? Because we need 100% placements. Otherwise, next year, nobody might join. Okay? Now, instead of playing the underdogs, can you, in your mindset, see, everything starts with the mindset. Can you, in your mindset, place yourself above the organizations? How many of you have heard of BCG metrics, the concept of a BCG metrics in marketing? There's this group, Boston Consulting Group, that's created a matrix of whether or not organizations grow over a period of time. I'll show you what the matrix is, then we'll see how you can apply that for your particular task. This is how that matrix looks. Okay? For simplicity, as a concept, let me tell you, this on the x-axis says what is the market share of a company today? In the sense, how big is it in the market today? It could be high on the left or it could be low on the right side. A company that has, like a Wipro has a high market share, an Infosys has a high market share, a startup company has a low market share. On the y-axis comes the business growth rate. That is, how much do we think this organization will grow in the future? Now, for one company, you may say, well, the growth potential in this industry is huge. But then you may say, oh, you know, real estate is going to fall, but you know, IT is going to fall, but the pharma is going to boom, right? So you have certain sectors that we feel will boom, that they will actually, over a period of time, grow in terms of how much the market share in business is, or they will not grow. Now, based on this, usually for marketing or for investments, for people who want to invest into organizations, they categorize organizations into 4 criteria. An organization today that has a low market share and people do not believe that it will grow. Okay, it's usually called a dog or a puppy. It's just there. It's lovable, it's nice, it's affectionate, but there's nothing much that it will do apart from the regular tricks that you show it, right? Now, this is that type of an organization. Second, they say an organization that today has a high relative market position, but we don't see much growth, which means tomorrow it will fall down. It's a cash cow. Means as much as you can earn from it today, earn. Because tomorrow it's probably going to dwindle down in the market. Today it's high, it's going to dwindle down tomorrow. The third type is a question mark. Now this is an organization that today has a low market share. A startup company in a mobile application field, a startup company in an electronics field that could be very strong. The field is strong. The market share is low because it just started off. The potential for growth is very high in that particular field. So it's a question mark because we don't know whether or not it will grow. It might crumble, it might stay. It's a question mark. And then comes those lovely companies that we all run behind, right? Which have a high market share today and which also we know will continue to grow because they're the stars. They're there. That's a Deloitte, that's an Accenture, that's, whichever organization you look for, that's a Wipro, that's a TCS. It's just huge. It keeps growing. It's not going to stop anywhere. Now, here's the question. Can you take the list of companies and place them where they are? Can you look at students? Sometimes I agree, yes, students not walking into placements can be because they don't care. Sometimes students not walking in can be because they're not interested. Sometimes it can also be maybe a possibility that it is because it's not mapped with what they really want at that point of time. Because we get caught up in the activity of as many organizations as possible. I might not map it. So let's say this is individual who wants to finish the graduation, work for 2 years in an organization and go off abroad, right? I would rather put that person in a question mark rather than choosing to employ the person in a star. Okay? Because do this experience. Somebody who wants to earn money and then study later using that money. Cash cow, because right now you want to actually earn, right? Maybe you map that student with a cash cow. Somebody who's innovative, creative, who wants to experiment different things. Maybe a startup, maybe a question mark will give that person the chance. Sometimes ask yourself how many of these dogs are actually coming down to your campus. Right? So the student gets the job, 100 placement happens, and 1 year down the road, the job goes off because the organization crumbles. Then what's the whole point? Is the ultimate goal met? Okay? Do we run too much around these? Why can't we look at these two options? Can we eliminate the dogs? Can you analyze the industries in the market and can you place them and say, hey, look, I'm not the underdog. I have something that the industry needs. I will build the skill over here and I can choose in terms of which students need to probably walk into which organization depending on what the student wants to. Can you have a balance of cash cows, a balance of the question marks and a balance between the stars such that you have organizations from every possible sphere that walk into your campuses? As a thought, does it make sense? Can I map a student requirement to the kind of organization that probably they want? Is one analysis I want you to think about as you go back, which could be a little different from all the other analysis that you're doing. Does that make sense? Any thoughts on this? Yeah. Yeah. I perfectly understand where that is, right? Now, it's not required that today you decide to do it. Can we start? At least can you look at the companies and see where they fall? I'll come to that part a little later when we talk about branding. I would love to take that statement also at that point of time. Question is, can I, in my mind, start telling myself, okay, if I'm here today, I will be, and IIM wouldn't think that way, and IIT wouldn't think that way. Now we say that our college is over here. In my mind, can I place it there and then do what is required over there? See, we all give ourselves fantastic labels. You know what's a label? What's a label? L-A-B-E-L, label. What's a label? Tell me quick so we can, yeah? Identification. What is an atom? Can you define an atom? ATOM. Define an atom. What's the definition of an atom? Anyone? Smallest indivisible particle. An atom today is defined as the smallest indivisible particle in any textbook also. You ask a student, that's what they say. You ask us, that's what we say. Is the atom divisible? Rutherford divided the atom. Niels Bohr worked experiments on the nucleus. An atom is divisible. Atomic energy is used. In spite of all that, still what do we say? Atom is smallest indivisible particle. Why? Because label chap gaya. Right? And that label that's stamped over there does not go. No matter what that atom does. Like one student, we decide not useful. No matter what he or she does, the label doesn't go. Sometimes that's a label we create. What I say is the first step. It's like taking a bottle, okay, and let's say I pour liquid in it. Outside the bottle, I put a label that says POISON. And I tell you, don't worry, it's cough syrup, drink. How many of you will drink? You will not, right? Let's say, no, don't worry, I'll clean it, I'll wash it, and I'll pour cough syrup, and then I'll bring it. Will you drink? Do you go with what is inside? Do you go with the label? You go with the label. What is the first step that you need to do? Remove that label, put a new label, and then do whatever it is that you would want to do. Because until and unless we remove that label, we will keep repeating the same thing. So my point is, can you start removing the label? Even if it's a fact right now, and you do have to do all the hard work to convert it from the poison to the cough syrup. Can I remove that label, and can I start telling myself, I don't need to be the underdog. Maybe tomorrow I can choose from the organizations. Do I know the mix of organizations that are coming into the group? Maybe it's because I'm just getting too many of the dogs and then people aren't happy, so people aren't coming back for placement. Maybe somebody wants a cash cow to earn money. Okay, but then we're pushing them into stars so people don't come into placements. Maybe. If you can evaluate that, can you take care of one particular point? Can you change the label in your mind just for the starters, even if you can't change the contents immediately? Just a thought. Think about it. That's a glimpse into the assessment. The glimpse, did I touch upon the point a little bit, sir? Understand where you're coming from. Touch upon the point in terms of, can I shift my thinking? It's a paradigm. Can I start shifting it today? I don't need to be an underdog because I have the resources too. I have the skill and I have the potential of what the organization wants. And when I'm able to take my resources there, organizations will come. Right? So can I look at my students as a stakeholders and then see what they maybe need? Can I categorize my organization? Can I do that assessment along with all the assessments that we're doing? Is one thought. The second, in terms of design, I don't think I need to touch into it anymore into detail. Do I know what does S stand for? In SWOT? Strengths. What does W stand for? Weaknesses. What does O stand for? Opportunities. What does T stand for? Okay. Do I know internally in my organization, in my institute, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses? Maybe we have the competence of having a strong alumni network. Maybe we have the competence of being very, very well known in one particular engineering field. Maybe we have the competence of doing as many events as possible across. What is my core competence? What is the institute's core strength? And can I build on that rather than building on simply doing whatever it is that the industry thinks you need to do? Same way, if you know the weaknesses, that's where all the activities come from. Is it training or is it this one? Should I get into liaison? Should I network more? You will know the answer to that based on what the weaknesses are. And it's always good to know the outside market. What are the opportunities? What are the threats? No planning or no activity will be complete until I'm clear of this internal design of my institute, which is unique. It's your unique signature. So without getting into too much of detail, which we can always talk later, the design part in the ADDIE is, can I do a SWOT? Can I go back and have a SWOT of my institute wherein everybody who is the major stakeholder contributes into it? The employers, the management, the students, the faculty, everybody contributes and you create a SWOT. The third thing that we can do, once you have the analysis, you know where the industry, where you place the organizations, you know where you stand. Between these two, how do you project yourself? The most important thing that we say in branding, how many of you brand your institutes? Okay. What do you think is the most important parameter of branding? Facilities. Okay. What else? Academic quality, projecting, strengths. What else? Industry interaction. Sorry? Word of mouth communication, qualities of each, who? Student? Individual? Students? Teaching quality, anything else? Results, okay? Placement records, sorry, share, what? All these things you brand, okay, will not work if there is one flaw in the whole branding. Branding works only when you have congruency. It means that what you project is what you really have and not what is supposed to be projected. Advertising also, selling works only when there's congruency. Let me put it that way. Okay? What are you doing? You're branding, you're promoting, you're selling your students. I don't know, all this may not be there. I don't have all this. What I have, okay, is a fantastic technology in my institute. Brand that. What I have is possibly senior most professors in some particular tech topics. Brand that. What I have is, what is your strength, your core competency, your areas, brand that, not what the industry wants. The biggest thing that we do when we decide to brand is we brand what we think people want to see. Everybody sees through it. You know, we teach grooming. Okay, we teach walking in with confidence. We teach the way you dress matters quite a bit in interviews. We say that first impression gives about 93% of an impact on how the interviewer looks at you. All of that we say. And we help that person groom that level. But here's one more interesting thing. After the first 4 minutes, you better know something. Or all of this will not really make any sense. So whatever it is that you really project, you have to project what you have, not what the industry just needs. So find what you have. If what you have and what the industry needs, there is a weakness, increase upon it, learn upon it, but project what actually is required, which means that you brand yourself, brand your students, brand the management, and brand yourself. You are the ambassador for your institute, okay? If I were to stand up, if you were to stand up, and if you, have you heard of the elevator pitch, a concept called the elevator pitch? Yeah? Anyone? Yeah? No? Yes? Some say yes, some say no. See, what are we doing here? Just looking at a unique perspective on a few things. That's it. Elevator pitch has been defined by an individual called Patricia Fripp. Patricia Fripp is an international Toastmaster. She does public speaking and selling skills excellently. Patricia Fripp developed the concept where she says, let us say that you are a salesperson and you are walking into a customer, client company to sell something. And you're meeting some manager, somebody, and then you want to work your way up. As you walk up to the elevator in the parking lot, in the P2 level, the lift is elevators coming from the P3 level, down up. And you press and you know you got to go to the 15th floor to meet the person. The doors of that elevator open, and who do you see inside but the CEO of the company? And you have zeroed in, close, targeted 30 seconds to 45 seconds with this person that you can actually close a deal with. What will you say? Sorry? Number of seconds? Yeah, it's possible. You might be. No, I'm telling you the concept of the elevator pitch. Hold on, I'm just giving you the concept. Hold on. I'm just saying that. I'll tell you what. Just saying the concept. The concept is, okay, if I walk in, do I know what to say? Most of us fumble. Most of us flustered. Most of us don't know how to speak. The concept is, can I think of 30 to 45 seconds in 1 minute? What is it I can say to create an impact? Like maybe not that. Okay, let's say you've had 45 seconds with this person from a Deloitte, from an Accenture. You have an opportunity. Okay? Now when you walk up, what do you say? Right? All that we sometimes do is, hi, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so institute. You give a card. May I have your card? Nice meeting you. Thanks so much. Inspiring talk. Same rattling things everybody does. But if I can get 30 seconds with somebody, sometimes I will tell you I've run into people in flights. Okay? I don't know how. Right? I run into people, I sit over here, I sit in the flight, and then I put my things up, sit down, and then I had Siddharth sit next to me one day, right? He goes, yap, 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 yap. He talks too much. If you know Siddharth, the guy who's acted in Boys, okay? Talks too much, okay? I've sat 2 rows from Shiv Khera in a flight. You run into people, you never know. Yes, could be only 1% or 0.5% chance in India, could be a 3 to 4% chance in the US or the Europe, agreed. But if I run into somebody, what do I say? What is my brand? What is my institute brand? How many of you can stand up and just bombard it out over there such that it leaves an impact, some kind of an impact on the individual. Can I create that to myself? Is all the question is. It might be one shot in a 10,000. What if the shot comes? Can I take it? Right? Do I know how to brand myself, the students, the institute, and the management? Extremely important to have that written down and to be clear-cut on it. From the way the infrastructure is, from the way the look of the institute is, from the logo, from the name, from the values that you carry, from the competencies, everything, from the way the management behaves to the way these students are, every single thing is a part of your brand strategy. Yes, sir. Yeah. Great. Agreed. Our main goal, I agree that. Done. Okay? Let's just put it this way. A simple thought in the mind. Yes, my job is to get placements, right? What I do internally in my head, nobody can control. Okay? Now, I'll tell you one thing, sir. Okay? Jo jeeta hai wahi Sikandar. Whatever you do internally, you get that company, they'll not say anything. Right? Okay? So you can do that internally. You work in your mind, create that brand for yourself that when you stand before that person, you can punch the elevator pitch. Then nobody will say anything. It's a fact. Yeah? So can I work on this internally? Possible. We say, that's okay. Definitely, I agree with that. Which is why this comes here, right? Now, when I say brand management, I don't say go and tell the management. How do you project the management out to the industry is what I'm talking about. Now, the statement that you just made, right? Imagine if there was a HR of a company sitting here. You would not want that person to hear that statement. What it is internally. How many of you have seen Sholay? Not Sholay. Dawn. Dawn dekha hai? How many of you have seen Dawn? There's an Hindi movie, Dawn, Amitabh Bachchan. How many of you have seen Dawn? Or the Shah Rukh Khan movie? Most of you. In Dawn, there is this scene where this girl tries to get him captured by the police. She takes out the bullets from his gun and then hides them. And then the police come. This guy takes the gun to put it on her head. You know what she tells him? She says, "Isme goliyan nahi hai. There are no bullets in this." What does he say? "Isme goliyan nahi hai. Tumhe pata hai, mujhe pata hai. You know, I know there are no bullets in this." Police doesn't know. So he'll put an empty gun on her, gag her and still escape. So what your management agrees, doesn't agree, traditional, not doing, everything you know your management knows. Organizations don't need to know. Can I brand my management in that way? Without losing the congruency. So pick up the strengths. That's why I added a phrase. That's why I added a phrase. Without losing your congruency. Pick up the strengths. They're going to be there. Okay? For every 100 weaknesses that you will find, problems you'll find in your management, you can find 2 positive things. I'm asking you, can you? Promote those. Okay? And then see what you can work on the other things. But promote those. So brand them positively without losing the congruency to the other people. Brand yourself. How you stand, how you walk, what you talk matters quite a bit. Can you create that brand strategy? This is a thought. See, each one you can explore into a half an hour of a discussion, half an hour of a detailed thing. I want you to just open up your mind to thoughts. Otherwise, we'll be here till 4 o'clock, which I don't think you would want to, which I am okay with. Okay? And while you do that, here's a question. What are the labels I am creating when I, right? Sir, your name? Okay, Balakrishna. From? Vivekananda College. Okay, when I, Balakrishna from Vivekananda College, stand up and talk to an audience of 10 people, what are the labels that those people will form on my college and on me? What are the labels I want them to form? And to form those labels, how do I brand myself? And how can I work in my institute such that I make those brands true? That's the whole back end. And which organizations before I want to stand and do it? That comes your assessment process. It's a process. We're trying to look at a process, not just one little thing, right? So I'm saying brand it. Now, when you do the analysis, assessment, when you do the design of SWOT, do the BCG matrix here, design of SWOT, develop the brand that you want to develop, then comes how you implement it. Implementation is done by just communication, be it through events, be it through opportunities, be it through trainings, be it through whatever. You keep communicating, you keep communicating. You build the network required. How many of you are in touch with your alumni network who are in various organizations? Right? One thing a lot of us do. Okay, do we know who are in what positions? Communicate the events you do, post them across. You see organizations will do one little thing, they'll Twitter it, they'll post it on Facebook. Okay, get yourself present as much as possible. You know, people do search engine optimization for the internet. How many of you agree that today internet is one way that you can brand yourself? How many of you agree with that? Okay, what do we do? Search engine optimization to get your site up. Nothing beats organic growth. Nothing beats consistent, regular, everyday, one update about something that institutes and industries that you want based on the analysis that you do. And while you do this implementation, you know, social media, we've said internet works, right? What all comes under social media? Any idea? Facebook? LinkedIn? Twitter? Google Plus? Any other professional network groups? Okay, Google Plus? Anything else? Do you know how large social media is? How many of your students have blogs? Can every blog have your institute name on it? Can every blog have your institute logo on it? You know how much that adds on to your internet space and internet speed? How many of your students, RSS feeds, how many of your students have their own simple websites? Okay, can you build RSS feeds? Can you have lock and click of number of people coming? I mean, it's just Facebook is one part of it. You have Twitter, you have MySpace, you have Silicon India, you have streams. This huge. Okay, Dig is a type of a blog. Blogspot is a type of a blog. Okay, WordPress is type of a blog. Right? How many of your students keep posting photos out over there? Okay, can you have the institute names over there? Can you pick up the key students who you know can do it, and can you get them to actually consciously do it? Social media is huge. Now, even if you can't touch all of these in terms of social media, okay, can I at least make sure I am on some of them, which is the key ones of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and different blogs? Can we get blogs written of what's happening? Implementation of the brand, the best way today to do it is leveraging social media. Am I leveraging social media enough? Now, why am I saying all of this? You may say, nothing might work. I'm saying you might be doing a number of things, but maybe a little bit of this addition can give you that little delta shift. That will give you the motivation that maybe another delta can be shifted. That will give you the motivation another delta can be shifted. Can you have little steps? And while I'm doing this, can I constantly evaluate? How do we evaluate whether what we are doing is okay or not? What do we do? How do we evaluate? What do we do? Assessments? Feedback from company HR? Review the previous years and पिछले साल ये सब किया. We did all this last year. Nothing happened. Again, you do the same things this year. Nothing may happen. If you do the same things again and again, you will not expect different results, right? What can you change compared to last year, what somebody else did? And understand the emerging trends globally, what other people are doing. Can I build those competencies here? Can I build these competencies here, right? These are different ways you keep evaluating what you're doing. And then do this as a cycle. You do it as a cycle of assessment, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And what I would like to leave you with a thought over here is why we said this part of the session is about what I can do is for a minute, I would like all of you to let go of wherever you are in age right now and then come down to being a 7-year-old child. Do we know how 7-year-old children are? You know 7-year-old children? You have nieces, nephews, grandsons, sons, daughters, 7-year-old children, or you've been 7 years at some point of time in your life? Have you? So you know how 7-year-olds behave, right? Hyper, active, running around, jumping. Okay? Now this 7-year-old boy was running around everywhere, constantly, Mama, I want that, Mama, I want this, Mama, I want that. And then not really stopping at all. His mother wanted to do work for about half an hour without getting disturbed. But he wasn't leaving her. So what she could do, she thought here, she thought there, she thought everything. And then she searched around the house for something. And then suddenly, in one cupboard in the corner, she found an old newspaper, full-page newspaper, with the picture of a world map on it. And then she got an idea. She said, here's what I can do. She tore that map into 2 pieces. Then she tore it into further more pieces, made it like a jigsaw puzzle. She gave it to her son and said, Raju, make the world okay. Sari dunya ko okay kar do, best thing, right? Now, she knows, what does a 7-year-old son know about countries or oceans or continents? Nothing, right? So she is very clear, at least for half an hour, he will not disturb her. So she happily goes, takes out her laptop and starts working. 5 minutes later, Raju comes running. Mama, over. She's like, what? Show me. And then he takes her, there she sees on the floor, the entire world map is set correct. She's really zapped. She's like, wow, I always knew my son was intelligent, but he's a genius. He knows nothing about countries and oceans and continents. He got the whole world, okay. So she asked him, Raju, how did you do it? Raju said, very simple, Mama. Behind the picture of the world map was the picture of a person. I simply made the person okay. The world became okay. You cannot make the world okay, sir. You cannot make the management okay, cannot make the students okay, cannot make the organizations okay, cannot make the HR people okay. I can start making the person okay. And maybe with slowly that little shift of those ripples that start to form, the world around us will start to become a little okay, a little more happier, a little more comfortable. Yes, sir. That's right, branding. Yeah, you had a thought? One last thought and then we'll take this offline, right? Because I think it's about 2:10. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Sure. Just a quick thought on it and then rest will take it offline unless everybody wants to go more into it, right? I decide the brand, I decide to put it forward, then people are doing it differently. I'm saying start small, okay? So I start here, that immediate next circle around you, please define. Okay? 5 key students, 10 key students from different branches, okay? 2 to 3 key professors around. So define that immediate next circle that you can influence. See, there's something called circle of control. There's something called circle of influence. You can only control yourself. You can expand your circle of influence. I'm saying decide that next immediate circle. These are the 10 students, 15 students. These are the 3-4 professors. And make sure that they are with you. Don't worry about the others. Now, once you set that, get each person to define their next circle. So what works is that. And it may take time. I'm saying while we're doing what we're doing. Students are not ready to change or learn? Okay? Sure. So you start small. All I'm saying, sir, is yes, whatever we're doing. Can we add a step to it? Can we try and see to map? Pick one student like that, see if you can map. Go with one. Remember the story of a starfish? Okay? And I want to end with this. We'll not continue this here further in the room. We'll talk offline. But I'll conclude with that story of that starfish. You know, have you heard of the story of the starfish? How many of you have the story of a starfish? You have this beach. An old man is walking on the beach. Okay? And he sees a figure dancing far away. As he comes closer, he realizes it's not a dance. It's one boy who is bending down and who is throwing something in the water. He comes closer, he sees that there are starfish. The boy is picking up a starfish and throwing it back in the water. Right? And now, I know you'll say this is probably ideal, but then it starts over there. The rest anyway we are doing. We are going through headaches, right? So why not start here? And now he comes and asks him, what are you doing? The boy says, tide is high, so many starfish, they will die. I'm throwing it back in the water. So he laughs at him and says, are you mad? There are miles of starfish around. You can't make a difference. What will you do? So the boy smiles at him. He bends down, picks up one starfish, throws it back into the water, and he said, I made a difference to that one. Right? Can I make a difference to one? Can I start? And sometimes you'll be surprised how that one will cascade to another. Can I start? Can I try something a little? Yeah, that's all. Can I try something little differently? While we are doing it, can I use some of these techniques? Can I use a BCG matrix to analyze? Can I use SWOT and project the strengths? Can I brand? Can I use social media? Can I constantly evaluate? That's all. Just a question that I want you to leave with. Any thoughts? One thought. We'll send you, if you not the PPT as is, it's copyrighted, but we'll send you a few thoughts. Thanks. Yeah? Sure. Send you a few details, and thank you for your thoughts. Yes, sir. One last thought, then we'll close. Yeah. Absolutely. True. Sure.
You may brand something which doesn't make sense to a company.
Absolutely.
There is a limitation. You have certain parameters.
Absolutely.
You can brand your institute on any one of those parameters.
Absolutely. In fact, I will go one step ahead, right? Once you do the design and you create the brand, how you communicate to a cash cow company is different from what you communicate to a star.
Exactly. So you are telling something that you don't have to please the company. But I think we have to brand ourselves to some extent, the music which will make sense to the company.
No, absolutely. Let me rephrase what I had said. I had never said not to please the company. An organization assessment that you do right at the start, right, will provide you that data. All I said is pleasing the company not at the cost of not being congruent. That's all. The mapping the assessment and your design of SWOT together so that you can brand appropriately to an organization. Yeah. Absolutely with you. We're saying the same thing in different words.
And the branding has to be honest.
Congruent, honest, right? Absolutely, no doubt. Yes, sir.
One of us do the tactics. Here we are discussed in a forum.
Okay.
First they will tell about themselves or their previous experience before talking to them.
Revti.
Then slowly.
Will.
Pleasing the companies, it is also required.
It is required. Pleasing the company on a long term.
Revti.
Done.
Right. So,
let's just pause this with one last word, Lionel. Just one last word. Pleasing the company on a long term. You want them to keep coming back. So brand such that you please. Sure. Definitely. No problem. Definitely. Please do. Please do. Appreciation when genuine is always okay. I never said no, sir. Appreciation when genuine is always okay. Please do. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Revti, engaging session again.